rock and roll. Where we at? We're at Ipswich Road Poets Cafe. The show invites you, the viewer, to come on down and be on the show. So if you sing, dance, juggle pianos, tap dance, if you spray paint, fingerprint paint, toe paint, floor mop paint, whatever you can do, you're welcome. If you play the tuba, the saxophone, or the refrigerator door, you can come and you can be on the show. And you can be sitting right there where Isabell is sitting. Isabell VanMerlin. See, I got that right. I mean, everybody thinks I'm kind of a burnout, but at times maybe. But, we're always inviting the viewer to come on and be on. And you got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to be a sculptor by education, and I've only taught art once in my life, and that was a long time ago, but in Massachusetts. But right now I am teaching ESL, English as a Second Language, in Salem and in Lynn, and I work at an assisted living place in Peabody, working with people that make me feel young. The average age is 90, and 70% have cognitive issues. It really makes me feel young. And it makes me feel grateful that I can still write a haiku.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You're really grateful for what you have. You know what I mean? This is a great place to, especially New England, to be able to be out and about and enjoy, the spring. I absolutely love the spring. Though you might not be in the spring. This might be next fall. You might be standing in the snow by the time you see this, but you're still going to enjoy it.
Right. Today, I was jumping up and down and just about ready to take my shoes off and jump in the puddles because there was actually liquid water running on the streets. Yay, spring, yippee.
Right, and you host the Merrimack Mic.
Yes.
Which is?
Okay, Merrimack Mic is an open mic in Newburyport. It meets at the Plum Island Coffee Roasters, which is not on Plum Island. It's off of Merrimack Street in Newburyport, and it's down by the harbor, the river, between the Black Cow and Michael's Restaurant. And we meet every Thursday night, starting at 6:30. Show up and you get 5 minutes to do poetry, stories, tell lies, paint your face, paint somebody else's face, sing songs. We had a really nice guitarist, ballad singer last week, John Waterman. So same kind of thing that you're doing here on this show. So if you show up, you get 5 minutes at the mic, and there's featured guests every week from 7:30 to 8, half hour. And so please come on down.
Excellent, excellent. And
yeah.
Now, how long you've been hosting that?
I started September 5th, I believe it was, the first Thursday in September. And so it's been going 6-7 months now.
And what's the owner's name? I forgot that.
Bruce Vogel is the owner of Plum Island Coffee Roasters.
Yeah, we'd like to thank you because,
yes.
People just don't know how important it is to open the door for these venues so that we have stages to stand on, places to put the audience, you know what I mean? I'm a wild man. One time, me and my bike club, we went to do a poetry reading at some coffee house in, I think it was in Winchester, some town, New Hampshire, and they took one look at us on the bikes, and it was like every open mic slot was filled for the next 4 years. We ended up reading poetry to folks in the parking lot. You know what I mean? So it's important that we have these venues.
Oh, it's really important.
People get to use their voice, and we're discussing older people.
And you're booked. You're going to be the feature March 27th.
Now that'll be a long time from past by the time this is on.
Well, but
you missed it.
Your biker guys, your do you call yourselves a poet club?
Well, the Highway Poets, the only bike club in America you have to be a published journalist to be a member of.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a journalist too.
Journalist?
Journalist.
I just thought you had to at least own your own bike.
No, well, you're supposed to own a bike. You're supposed to, ride a bike. You're supposed to have been published 3 times before you're open for membership. And then you have to be published twice a year to keep your membership. So
That is way cool.
Yeah, this club's about, oh God, it's almost 25 years old now. Time is
How
flying.
fabulous.
Time is flying,
Well,
and
you are booked in July for
Oh,
Mary
that's
Mike.
that's for Road Poet Fortnight. That's something we created last year. Last year, Lisa Golder, Shields, and I, and a bunch of other people, we went to 20-something venues, car shows, bike shows, went to stock car races.
Yeah.
We went to vintage races. We read at regular open mics. We featured several times, like in Stone Soup and Cake. For Road Poet Fortnight, which being the person I am, we stretched Road Poet Fortnight. It's supposed to be 2 weeks, and we stretched it to almost 4. We had a great time. We'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm gonna do? I usually don't do this. If you'd like to email me, email tap. Okay, it's roadpoet, bikerpoet @yahoo.com. And if you want more information on the fortnight, which is basically July 15th to August 4th, let me know. Now, You're the guest here. You're the one we should be paying attention to. So now, tell us a little bit about your poetry.
I started writing poetry, I guess, about 15, maybe 20 years ago. I couldn't find the poem that I really consider my first serious poem, but I was living in Oakland, California at the time. My daughter was a senior in high school, and she wanted me to be there and live with me for her senior year of high school. And I was walking down Telegraph Avenue in Oakland, continues into Berkeley, the famous Telegraph Avenue, and I was walking by McDonald's on my way to BART to go to work in the city, and I almost stepped on a squashed ketchup package, and it inspired this, what I think is probably a really cool poem. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it today to bring it and read. But I've gotten my writing and so forth, and my sculpture and other things that I do have gotten more spiritual, if you want to call it that. I really believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that we're all connected, we're all related in one way or another, and that ideally we're here to improve our lot and hopefully make it seem maybe not quite so human if it seems like a hard road to hoe. So anyway, I've been moving along those lines, and most of my stuff is about, well, there's always a problem. It's very difficult to write anything unless there's a drama, a dilemma, a crisis, something like that, that you can talk about, describe, and then solve or make comments about. So anyway, so my stuff will be about love, about relationships, about friends, about lots of things.
Good, excellent. Why don't you start reading? That would be excellent.
Okay. I went to my 50th high school reunion right after Thanksgiving last year, and I wrote a poem for that. But let me start with this first. I was only 11, going on 21, just as fast as I could. My mother knew it, saw it, was determined to stop it, if only she could. 5th grade is not very fast, but it seemed to last forever. The first time I ditched school was in the 5th grade. We thought we had it made, but we didn't. We got caught while we sought a fun place to play. But how far can you go in a town of 5,000? They all know your mama or her husband, especially when you're the spittin' of one of them. How come we're not noticed when we do something right, but always when slacking we stand out so bright? We aimed for insouciancy, but it was just plain truancy. So, out of desperation, Mother thought of separation and sent me to my sister's to see if she could put blisters on my hide while I bided my time in Hayneville, Alabama. So my first problem after I was born was my mother. We didn't like each other a whole lot. I was supposed to be a boy, and she didn't appreciate it when I turned out to be a girl. So let's see, my 50th high school reunion, I made up this poem, and I read it at the class. Our class of 63. Is there any rhyme or reason why we've chosen this particular season to celebrate a 2-digit number? Did it pass in slumber? 100, or do I hear thunder? How has it happened that 50 years have passed? I had no idea I'd last this long. In the light of day, I see the signs of decay, but that's only in the light of day. Night and day, I think of our school colors, black and gold, the black of midnight, the gold of sunlight. The luster of gold will never rust or decay, and black at midnight never shows dust. So let's brighten with gold the good memories we hold, and then let the darkness black take the bad memories back. Do we count only the numbers present here, or shall we include those we hold dear, here and no longer here? How many happenings, life events made us happy, sad, mad, or too bad to even recall? We can't possibly recount them all. Shall we make monuments to all the impediments that stood in the way of, what was it you say? Let's look to tomorrow, a brand new day. Let's get out of our own way. Crank up our hearing aids, adjust our bifocals, glue down our new teeth so we can project our vocals. Let's don't count our wrinkles or diminishing hairs, but rather our classmates and how well we fare. We can count our blessings. There are many we can see. How great to be here, how great to be. We're a great class of 63, and those of us who didn't make this bus, we'll see you at high tide on the other side. We'll have a lark while our bulldogs bark, in spirit or in flesh, in every form we're alive, we have survived. So let's boogie and jive for all to see, the way cool class of 1963. May seem old to some, but we're very much alive. Yippee. They enjoyed that. You know, I try to always put a positive spin on stuff. It's self-pity, depression. It's really, really easy to see all the bad stuff.
A lot of people try to drag you into political rants, and I'm really apolitical. People are shocked. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, as far as I can tell, I mean, here I am recording for your television. I don't own a television, and it's by choice. I don't watch the news. I don't read papers. I occasionally get a Metro because I like to do the Sudoku puzzles, but it's all the same. I mean, it always seems the same. And I don't know, how many thousands of years have we been at war? And where's it gotten us? I don't know. If you believe in reincarnation, you know, we're just going to have to come back and do it again. But yeah. So let's see. Here's a few haikus. I love to do haikus, especially if I get inspired by an image or something or a sunset. To put an idea down in 17 syllables. Sometimes I go on from there, but sometimes it's good to get my thoughts concise. So here's one about, well, let's see. New age for old age. I have a new bra that when I wiggle, it creaks. Okay. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty grows not old. And that's from a Franz Kafka quote or something he wrote. Seagrass waving like a sleepy hula dancer, Mon ami is called. And that was from a marine biologist who gave a talk at Northeastern Marine Science Center in the Hunt. Happiness, not misery, can no more be kept secret than garlic. Emmett Fox, I like that one. Okay, that was one about Halloween. So here's a poem that I named Old ? I wonder when it is that people begin to consciously slow themselves down. I've noticed lately old people doing things that appear to be regular, everyday, anything of your life things, but they are slowed to a snail's pace. A cute guy this morning, stocking cap over his military cut gray hair, glasses, flannel plaid shirt, red and black vertical striped shorts. I love it that so many men wear short pants in Tucson so much of the year. Was clutching his newspaper to his chest while trying to negotiate the stairs to his trailer. It really stopped me to see him take so much time to get up the first step. He looked young and vigorous, albeit not very color coordinated. Why was he moving so slowly? And I catch myself noticing that I can still run and jump into the back of my truck. Cancel all those old fartish thoughts out of my head and my way, just because the numbers say 50 and a half. With all the stuff I've learned this trip, I'm getting newer, more agile, smarter, better memory, younger DNA, more stamina, more capacity for fun and passion. Life is grand. Of course, I wrote that in '96. Yeah. So, anyway, you can see sort of.
No, I'm enjoying them. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The folks out there, you
Okay.
digging them? Of course they are. And you bring your stuff down too, right? You like to see,
Yes.
In fact, come to Merrimack open mic. Isabel would really like to meet you and hear
Yes.
your work too.
Yes, I teach a creative writing memoir class, and actually I'm going to be teaching one at the Rowley Library in a few weeks. But my firm belief, I know this for a fact, that everybody has a story, and you need to express it. You're here to have fun. That's your divine purpose. You can't please everybody any of the time, or anybody all of the time, or hardly ever. So it's up to you to be satisfied and have fun. That's what you're expected to do. So come share your story at Merrimack Mike, and because I want to hear it too. Okay, so here's this is some history. I should have known when he chose sterling instead of gold or platinum for our wedding rings. After I had to drag him down to the jeweler's on a Saturday afternoon, tearing him away from the house. He was sure they closed at 5. They closed at 6. When he didn't want to get another marriage license for the anniversary ceremony in the church of my heart. When the wedding cake knife, so lovingly given to me by Julia, broke in transit to Pasadena. When I would come home from work and find the already uneatable dining table occupied with yet more model railroad parts. When the Valentine's Day present was a non-living silk plant in a plastic container from Walgreens. When he never would commit to a date to go to Israel, a place of political dreams for him. When he never called, when he didn't comment on the Bedouin rug, when he wouldn't wear boxer shorts, when he scorned my religion, when he didn't tell me about the taxes, the garnishment, the no vacation, the model railroad convention, conveniently coinciding with his father's funeral, that it wasn't going to work. So why does my heart hurt anyway? Or is it only my ego? the end of a marriage, yes. And that brings me to a haiku that I wrote from a young friend of mine, the son of an architect friend of mine, wrote a great poem, The Mask of Life. And I wrote a haiku about it. I run into the face of death. Nothing happens. But oh, how love hurts. Pretty pithy. Yeah, yeah. And here is one that I hope will be, this is spring 2009, so I'm hoping that it will help continue this good weather that we've had today and that we will see spring soon. Spring, Harry's backyard, sweet Canadian goslings, 8, 1 serving size. Of course, not that you want to eat them, but when do people eat goose? Is that Easter or is it?
Christmas,
It's
I
later. Or yeah, I think you're right.
It's Christmas, but I don't eat.
I know.
You know,
I've never had goose. I mean, no. I don't think I want to.
they're all on their own. They're on their own.
Right, right. Okay, so let's see. Tripped up. How to pass off passive aggressive behavior as timidity. Act real insecure. Never make eye contact. Head down and foot out. Hide the smirk as you watch them fall flat. They may come up swinging. Be quick. I don't remember who I was mad at or what, but, or maybe I just saw it happen. Yeah. All right, let's see. Here's, this has nothing spiritual about it at all. Post-church refreshments, post-cleanup abundance. Just take one home. They won't be fresh tomorrow. Rosie in the passenger seat, nothing to wrap it in. I put it on top of the cab while I stowed my stuff in back. Talking, driving, thinking of the next event. Where did I put the dadgum thing? When tomorrow came and I unlocked the passenger door, imagine my surprise to find it gently jammed between cap and cab. There still hasn't been enough rain to wash the icing off. I'm sure glad she didn't sit on it. The cupcake, in case you didn't figure that out. Yep, yep. So, you know, I don't think I have any poems written about my experiences on a motorcycle, but the guy that I should have known about, his first motorcycle, or when I met him, the motorcycle he had was a Triumph Bonneville, and it was lovely. My first trip across the Golden Gate Bridge was with him on the back of that Bonneville. Nice bike. All right, a few more. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm pinned to my bed like a butterfly in its case, immobile, still dead? But for ballpoint in fingers, flying erratically over junior notebook pages, counting syllables, counting Julia Cameron's morning mandated pages, forced into the depths of my 460 count cotton sheets by the gravity of my desires for escape and the knowledge that I need and deserve it. Need and deserve are 2 words that do not hold meaning for me. I take a deep breath, relax my knees, and push off and up into my universe of holographic sculptures where I choose the colors, shapes, materials, and words to form with love my next work of art today.
Wow, that I like, big time.
Good, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you know, we do create our own reality, if you want to use that word. It's another word I don't like. But so I'm assuming, I'm hoping I'm running out of time, right?
We just read that, and then we'll go to a break. You folks,
Okay.
get ready to make that pizza.
Okay. Okay. Back to another heart thing. Heartstrings. Do you ever feel the fabric of your life is gone wonky? The warp is all warped and the weft has long since left? Don't despair. You know how to repair it. Heartstrings to the rescue. Love tying life all together again. Everything is in divine order.
Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. You probably don't remember writing this one.
Oh, I do.
Oh, no.
Because I also made a sculpture out of
cool.
catawba beans. You know, the long black bean pods that look like carob pods or something. They're catalpa or catawba. I didn't know what the name was, but when I was living in Lynn, I went by the Saugus Library one day, and they had this huge tree in the back of the library, and it must have been fall, and all of these pods, these long bean pods that were black, just black and black, were lying on the ground, and I just couldn't resist picking them up. I'm really into roadkill of all sorts, so I picked up a bunch and I wove them into a kind of a crosshatch piece, and I tied it together because they're very slippery and so forth. So I tied them together with this red string, and I had little hearts hanging at the ends of these strings that I had made from baker's clay or something. And
wow. See, that's the thing about a real artist. I got friends of mine that, oh, I want to paint and I want to draw, but it's so expensive. If you're really an artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you go down and buy blueberries if you have to make up, the ink to do it. That's what you do.
No, you don't buy them. You go out in the woods before the bears get there.
Yeah. There's not too many bears, but there's a lot of deer around here, though. I've seen some.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
also coyotes now, which are really interesting,
But they don't eat blueberries, do they?
No, that's the good
Thank
thing.
goodness.
But that's a good thing. But the bottom line is that, whatever you have, that's your art. You make it.
Right.
You make your art from what you have rather than buy the process. Like a lot of people think you buy. Just like people, I don't want to say anything negative, but people who go to these writers' conferences like in, in the Bahamas so they can write. I remember one night I had to write I write for the Connecticut Cruise News, and I had to get my article out, my column out.
Yeah.
And I had what they called the heart incident, and I'm strapped to a gurney with all these wires in me writing down, my column to get it in for the next day, because that's what you do. Hopefully in the near future we're going to have some friends of mine, Rob Cirandulo, he owns some shops and stuff, but he's also the publisher of the new upcoming New England Power Sports Post, which I'm the senior editor of, and his son, Jason Cirandulo, is the assistant editor, and hopefully we're going to have them on the show, and we're going to have all kinds of interesting stuff. And of course, we still got the Road Poets Cafe sign, but that's behind there because somebody forgot to hang it up here but remember folks, it's not the destination that makes us who we are. It's the journey along the way. So we hope to see you later. Have a great day. Thank you.